contrary, doing it different. Mubs got beat.
Maranatha, we start off giving blessings, honor, glory, and power be to him that sits upon the throne and to the Lamb forever and ever. The inauguration of an Israelite, all praises to the Most High Power.
That's right.
The word inauguration, block you, mess that up. The word inauguration means this: the beginning or introduction of a system, policy, or period. And that's where we're at right now, man. We're in the introduction of the kingdom. We at the beginning of the so-called black man becoming autonomous. We at the beginning of the end of the world as you know it. And the introduction to that system is them law, statutes, and commandments. That's right. The policy is the law. So let's go over here to 2 Timothy 2:15 just real quick and skim on that. This it says right there, it says to study, to show yourself approved unto the Most High. You got to study to show yourself approved unto the Most High, because we are a workman that needs not to be ashamed. We have the necessity. It's imperative that we don't be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And you see that word dividing? We're going to go into that word real quick. Dividing. That's the one right there that we got to go and really look at. Just real quick. We won't go any further. It means to cut straight. To cut straight ways. Make plain. You know, in other words. Instead of these wraparound type of words that people, or the wraparound concepts that people want to settle on. Making it to where a lot of people are still in sin. We don't even realize it. So you got to go and rightly divide. Best way of doing it is going into the original language and deriving the meaning that was intended when they actually put the words down initially. So it says to make straight. I'm at the second definition of the outline of the biblical uses. It says to make straight and smooth, to handle aright, to teach the truth directly and correctly. Using logic, sensibly, teaching of the law, statutes, and commandments. Instead of these beat around the bush terms that we got, like other gods. And it's like people say, oh, you know, I definitely don't worship other gods. And everybody probably on planet Earth can sit down there and say, like, I only worship what one God. If they believe in this book, that's what I'm saying. They're like, I worship one God. You're like, do you really? Well, let's see. So we're going to go to Exodus 20:1. That's what this is about. This is the inauguration. This is the Most High's, process of coming into the policy of the land and of a person's behavior when it comes down to conducting it towards themselves and towards the other people around them. The kingdom. So he says right here in Exodus 20:1, he says, and speak all these words, saying, I am the Most High Power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, or out of the land of the system of slavery, out of the house of bondage, out of chattel slavery. We sit here and we thinking that it's all about Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King and all that. Nah. They be like, well, we advanced it. We got some things going on. You like, and all praises be to the Most High. Because if it wasn't for the Most High, we would still be having whips on our backs right now. The Most High is saying, like, nah, man, it wasn't that these white folks had a change of heart. It wasn't anything that happened on the ordinary or organically, as they are saying it in the narrative in the history books. He's saying, man, I did that. However reason that you want to understand on how we got to that point, hey, more power to you. At the end of the day, that was the Most High's will, man. And that's a lot of the things that our people is failing to realize, like, hey, man, this God brought us out of what we know as the transatlantic slavery, the transatlantic slave trade. And they ain't giving him the credit that it's actually due. Our people went off and just start worshiping sticks and stones, Muslims and Christians. He said, you shall have no other gods before me. And of course, we all know that dude right there is a straight phony by now. Even people that ain't aware of their heritage pertaining to the biblical explanation, they still know that he's a crook.
That's right.
Everybody know that he ain't fitting this book. You can walk up and you can hear Christians talk about their woolly hair.
Yeah, bad.
Everybody know that this guy right here is a shakedown. He come to shake you down. So that's plain and simple in the face. And this one right here is another dead giveaway too. Other gods. Because God, the Most High Power, he wants you to celebrate certain holidays. But over here in the country where that guy, homeboy right here rules, it's these holidays. That right, that's you putting another God before the Most High Power. If the Most High says do this, and instead you do that because somebody else says it, that's your God. He's saying the word God is Elohim, right?
Right.
And it says, let's lock it. The word lock it. The word that you see of Elohim has a lot of different definitions for it. It's used for generally as the word God, but lowercase God too, alluding to other non-deities, non-supreme deities, just other people's idea of God. And then it goes all the way down to it was used 5 times for the word judges. Used twice for goddesses. And that's the same thing that females are starting to be taught that they are. And we got brothers that's teaching. We got brothers that's teaching females that they are their God. That brother need to slap himself. He need to wake up, man. What are you talking about, man? Like, like when you say things like that, I guess you're not really talking about like the supreme being. You're just saying like a judge, because you ain't talking about Almighty, mofo.
Yeah, that's right.
It says angels are just exceeding, and you'll see what it means by this exceeding. I think I got the slide switched. I was trying to go to this one first. Outline biblical usage right here is divine ones, or rulers, judges, or divine ones. Divine. It is a form or like or a God or of God. Of God, from God, or like God. You know what I'm saying? That's what divine means. And you look at the word divine, and you see that it says like informally. Informally, the word divine could mean lovely, could mean handsome. It could mean beautiful, right? It could mean good looking. So you see how these words are chained together and they're falling in line with the concept of what we actually could point towards, like role modelship, like in stars and actors and rappers and things like that. Mm-hmm. You know, delightful, appealing, engaging. So if this is something that fits somebody and you're following after that person because of these factors, that is your God.
God.
You can't think that doing those type of things is nothing, and they're not mentioned in the Bible, and that the Most High didn't cover whether it's good or whether it's bad. You best believe he did.
God, you gotta seek that word diligently.
Right. And then look at this one right here, at C, and an outline biblical usage. It says works or special possessions of the Most High, like the word talent. Talented.
Because they say, oh yeah, I'm talented. The Most High God gave me this talent.
Right.
So if you worshiping a person that's a rapper or a basketball player, singer, any of those things, then you worship them as God.
Right. If yeah, exactly. If trying to be like this dude, or I guess whatever, following after his example, is something that you do over following after the example of the Most High power, man, we know who your God is.
You put more work in trying to do what this person is doing than what you doing seeking the Most High.
That's right. And you see talent, it says talent is an exceptional natural ability, especially in a particular activity such as music. Talent is often thought as a kind of ability that comes without training, something that you're born with. It is often contrasted with skill, so it's not skill, which is an ability acquired and developed through practice. So, in other words, God-given. They just not, they're trying to leave God out of the definition. Because this is no longer even a fake Christian country. These people are just blatantly just homosexuals.
God, look, they passed the law. This lets you know how they get down.
Yeah.
If they passed the law for people to be doing the gay shit. Excuse my language, the gay stuff. Then they be gay. They the ones that's the homosexuals.
That's right.
Man, you've been wrong.
Right. Rome on the low. That's it. Yeah. It's crazy. He say, watch this one. Number one, it says of any God, right? There is a proverbial expression of an obstinate, self-confident man whose own strength is his God. So people that believe that there is no God follow after their own self, or people that believe in their own strength, like, well, you know what I mean? I don't need, you know, I believe in God and everything, but you know, I'm gonna go, you know,
I'm gonna put in this work.
Right, get a degree or something. I'm like, go get a degree, that's cool and all that, but don't think that you don't have to do the most high thing. I don't have to do the most high thing. I can just go get a degree. Like, oh, okay. That's how you worship your own God. It's a proverbial expression. It's crazy that is, you know, all this information is just sitting here. And it says, confides in his own strong hand and sword. Right? You see that at the bottom? Confides in his own strong hand and sword. Today, a lot of people's like, you know, we gotta buy a lot of guns and this and that. We gotta, and you know, I'm like, man, you can't. Like we say, man, you can't fight guns with guns. They are guns. They got that rat-a-tat-a. Well, we got the pop over here on the West Coast. Pop, clickety pop. What you talking about? You can't pop click. You know what I mean? When somebody's over here rat-a-tatting. What's going on, man? Black Jesus Radio? He says, how about the inauguration of an Israelite? Of an Israelite Christian? Same thing. You can be an Israelite Christian. If you just want to stick to the you know what I mean, the first founding fathers of the Christianity movement within, you know, saying within the 3rd century and below, those dudes were actually the real Christians. They were keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, just relying on the Messiah also.
That's right.
So you know what I mean? By default, a lot of brothers that believe in the New Testament, Israelite brothers, would fall into a Christian. You would be at least a 3rd century, 2nd century Christian. That's why Paul said, man, don't suffer. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you gotta suffer to be called a Christian, don't even trip. He said, like here at 3, this is another zinger. He says, the God of anyone who is the God of whom anyone worships, whom he has as his domestic God. Everyone called upon his God. This is the scenario. He said, everyone called upon their God, as in Ruth 1:16, Genesis 17 and 7 and 8, 28 and 21. Thus, the Most High, or the power of the Israelites, is Yahweh, who is thus very often called Alahaya Yasharala, or Yahshua. Anyway, he said, and conjoined in Deuteronomy more than 200 times. So, the God that people can follow could be anyone whom you worship, as in a person. It can be yourself, when you're self-reliant, or it can be when you are reliant on the role model shit that someone might be displaying, or might be being displayed to you. That's facts. Didn't even mean to stutter on the beat. But I had to hit you with that meat. This is the meat market as we trade to these streets, and then we breathe. Let me just get back on here, man. We ain't at the end of the video. I might bust something. He says, "Thou shalt." So when you say you shall have no other gods before me, we see right here that we have a list, a long list of role model shit that our people has been mimicking every step of their adulthood life after. You know, and I'm not saying that because I feel like I'm above that factor in the concept. I'm saying that because I was a victim of that same situation, man. I remember when I first decided that I'm gonna start chasing, you know what I mean, chasing women. When I first decided that I'm gonna chase sex, whatever. Man, this G-rated, man. But you guys know what I'm saying, man. That teenager thing. And I was following after what these dudes were saying in the songs.
Right.
I decided that if I dress like them, I'm really gonna get it going on. And if I did what they were talking
They
about,
still do it to the day, though. Like, young people still do it to the day, even older people. You know what I mean?
right,
When they listen to this rap, they want to accolade what they do,
right,
accolade what they saying.
right,
They come on chasing chicks, they don't chase chicks. They come on selling something.
right.
Or selling something, no matter what it is.
That's
They
it.
come on get a job. If they do something, hey man, everybody get they gonna get a job. And if they listen to somebody that say that, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, man.
Right. That's where that no love, pick yourself up by the bootstrap
Exactly.
mentality that the so-called black man has adapted from the white man. Because they used to be thinking that, and we was more just like, damn, man, you know, we brotherly love, we down here, we need to figure ourselves out and make these white folks, you know what I mean, bend to our wants and our desires or something, or our request at least. It turned it to, what? Look at me. I'm better than you. I'm so much better than you that I might try to do something to your chick. Why? Because I'm self-reliant. They are their own God. They worship in their own God, which is themselves.
Yep.
And the same thing with the women. You can't leave them out of it.
Uh,
It ain't the brothers ain't the only one that's been getting, you know what I'm saying, hit with that Mickey.
you know, it's the same independent woman.
Right. Independent woman.
Their own God.
Or yeah, that. Or, you know, shake that tail to get it, you know, or I don't know, man. You know, I'm gonna keep it real because I never really listened to female rap. So I don't actually understand their position. I don't. You know what I mean? I try to imagine it, and the only thing I can imagine they talk about is sex.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they must be talking about sex. Whatever it is. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is there and it exists. And it exists for a reason. And it's because it becomes other people's gods. You see all them faces? You know the faces that have turned out our daughters of Zion, man. Yeah. Guilty as charged.
Now it's daughters of Zion. Instead of, you know what I mean, not now stuff how they used to back and stuff. Now they wearing the white folks hair.
White people hair.
White folks color.
Running around with blonde hair.
Yep. Blonde hair, red hair.
Like, yeah. I'm gonna have
curly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have blonde, straight, yellow hair. And I'm gonna just be trying to get it to look as flat as it can to try to mimic as if it's really mine. We all know it ain't yours.
Man.
What are you talking about? But keep it real, man. Did you know that when I was a kid, growing up, I thought that all the black girls that made it in the movies and the music videos and all that were black chicks that they were born with straight hair. And I thought that if you didn't have straight hair and you were black, there was no way possible you can get on the music video. I thought that this was their hair. Just as a kid, I didn't know. Because I should see women getting braids and stuff.
Yeah.
So when I was seeing that on the music video, I was like, hey, that's just a guy like, straight hair. Oh shit. I wonder why they picked her to be up on here. That's what I thought. Man, mess me up, man. Don't be messing us up like that.
Yeah, I was good. I was cold.
He says, you shall not make. Uh-oh. What? Make. Unto you any graven images. And a lot of people say, I already got that one down pat. I ain't never made any graven images.
Those wigs that was on them girls' hair was graven images.
Con. Definitely, if it wasn't a graven image, it was definitely a likeness.
Yeah. Con.
Like which one? Pick. You know what I mean? You can pick. You can pick your stone.
Yeah.
He says, "Thou shalt not make." So we're gonna go into this word "make" real quick. The word "make" is asa. The word asa has a lot of different definitions. It applies to a lot of different words. It's a contextual word. You gotta understand that word based off of the sentence and how it sets it up. So it'll say it can mean do. So you shall not do no graven images. You shall not make any graven images, rot, or bring with, or deal, sell. You shall not commit or offer, commit to a graven image. Like Easter bunny. You do an Easter, well, there's an Easter bunny that's supposed to be going to that. Okay, that's a graven image. You got an Easter bunny little chocolate thing, run it over, smash that, man, smash that up, man. What are you talking about? You say offer, don't be giving off graven images. Execute, keep. You can't show graven images. So when it's on your television and they having graven images up on there, man, you gotta fast forward, turn it off, turn the channel, like you're watching the wrong station most likely, or the wrong show. But you know, man, you better fast forward. You gotta get up out of there, man. Cleanse your life. Figure out, don't compromise. You know, figure it out. Because show has it was used 43 times.
Yeah, that's like watching something that's showing a Spider-Man toy or something.
Right. Watching all kind of weird stuff. You know?
I come by this.
He said, do so, perform to get the dress. You can't dress in it either. Like dressing up like in a mascot of an alligator. Thou shalt not do that. That is another. Now that has become another god, because Most High don't want you to be making those things, having them things, wearing them type of things.
Fact.
Because he already made them things, and now you making his stuff look stupid and silly.
Thinking that you did something better.
You know what I mean? You best not believe that you did something better. You done lost your mind. You
talking about something that ain't moving or
you know, they can't even mimic a robot hand of a human perfectly. They can't make a human hand.
You're right.
It still sucks.
Fact.
The way that, like, we are intelligently designed. He say, well, you know, that's another debate. You shall not maintain or be a maker of or miscellaneous. No graven images, period, man. That's what he's saying. You ain't supposed to produce none of them, prepare none of them, observe none of them, celebrate none of them. You get this, man? You see how many times this word I saw and how many concepts that it was applied to?
Yeah.
That you shall not do with one of these, or a molten image also, such as even one of these. You see that?
Yeah.
You see that, Ock?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I mean, those action figures.
Them too. That's a molten image.
Yeah, those are the molten graven images. Like, they have stone, wood.
Right, carved and stuff.
Yeah.
This right here?
Molten, that's a graven image. Graven image.
Tell them what we have here.
Huh?
Tell them what this is.
It's one of these. We got one of these here right now. Boom. X with an no. Got a big X on him. Cause man, the Most High wants you to have one of them things. you go get you one or go see one.
Yeah.
Other than that, you ain't supposed to even be training people to be thinking that way. You know? It turns into more things. You know, like, you know that these some people will love these things. A kid will love a teddy bear so much that you can tell this is a graven image now.
Yeah. Hey,
Like, this is something else. It ain't no longer just a teddy bear. Or, you know, some kids have a blanket issue, I guess.
yeah.
Get rid of that blanket. So right here, this is another one. He said, or likeness of anything that is in heaven above. We killed 2 birds with 1 stone with this slide. We got stars, planets,
Wow.
moons and suns and stuff of the sort.
That's right.
Meteors. It's a lot there.
That's it.
Or in the earth. Teddy bears.
Birds.
Or that is in the water. Fishes. And we all done, look, we all done fell victim to that game. Alright?
Back.
And look at, he said, thou shalt not bow down yourself to them. That right there, where they teach you in karate all the time to do that.
Yeah.
And the Chinese people, all that shit, you ain't supposed to do that.
Obama did it.
You know? You ain't supposed to bow down
Obama did it.
to nobody. You ain't supposed to bow down to no image. You ain't supposed to bow down to none of them things. And that's the self-explanatory, the self-explanatory on the face example that I'm showing right here. But you know, like you know, I got something else up the sleeve. It's also to give obeisance to or reference. Reverence, like it. Give reverence, fall down, stoop, crouch, or watch this. In worshiping a deity, hence to honor God with prayers, even without prostration of body. So if you are even given, you're giving honor to these individuals, giving honor to a teddy bear, like a kid will be like, oh, this is my best friend. Man, you must teach that kid out of that one and destroy the teddy bear. Like, the thing got to go. You know, it's like that. Because it turns into an honor thing. You're not supposed to honor it as a living creature, or honor it as anything that you should follow. Honor it as a role modelship out of these curses.
So
you know, all these things.
So is it not okay to have it around?
It's not okay to
teach?
have them or nothing. You know? And if you just so happen, like I'm saying, I'm speaking, you know what I mean, just in case there's somebody that actually has one and the kid is already then caught into that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you got some reversing to do. You know? But if you haven't actually got too far into the game on that one, you know what I'm saying? This is the day that I'm talking about is cold turkey. And the kid won't even realize it. No, they won't remember it 2 days later. They won't have no clue. So,
with my kids, you know what I mean? When I first started learning the commandments, I found out that I don't know if you ever have any graven images. Like my girls, they were playing with dolls, and my boys, they had like graven images, like action figures and stuff like that.
yeah.
Got rid of them immediately. They don't think about it to this day.
Instantaneously, they don't think about it.
They didn't think about it really.
Right.
Just when you first did it, that's when all the cycles got it. But then the next day, 2 days later, don't care about it.
No.
That's why I hold you.
They'll adjust to anything. You can just give them a lump of Play-Doh. They'll adjust to that.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they just play with Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Without the mechanism to squish things out.
Exactly.
Play-Doh. People like, man, that's cruel. What are you talking about? No, it's cruel to have your kid believing that a piece of plastic is its best friend. He said, thou shalt not bow down or honor yourself to them, nor serve them. So we got these people that honor these things also in these forms as an adult, with the Sagittariuses and the things of that sort, and the Geminis and things like that. Like, man, that's all witchcraft, devil worshiping. That's how you worship Satan.
Facts.
Oh, he said drop the link. Like, man, I'm on Black J Bone Radio, man. I'm on what's it called, man? OBS. I can't drop a link from OBS, man. I know, but I'm gonna do a live stream about something else, about this salt. So we'll, you know what I'm saying? We'll slide on that. He said, thou shalt not bow down or honor yourself, nor serve them, because I, the Most High, your power. He be jealous. And you see that right there? That's another one. When you honoring the beasts, similar to the beast that is on the earth.
Damn.
That one right there, catch you right there for another loop. Slip the Mickey on you, man. They've been doing this to us, and we honor these animals. I'm down with the yeah. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like I'm down with the Seahawks. You know, I'm right. I'm a Falcon fan. Like, you're honoring, you're bowing down to a god, huh?
Yeah, space. You got stars on there. Yeah, in the heavens. Things in the heavens on there.
Right. Stars,
And in the sea.
lightning.
Yeah.
That's in the heavens.
Yep.
Ain't that, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dang. And people don't even know that they are falling victim to straight idol worship. You worship other gods by being a fan of a football team. I know. Ironic,
Facts.
but it's happening.
That's facts. But you're a fan, so that's like those people like gods to gods. You get all crazy and stuff.
Right.
I mean, you see like
People will be.
You're honoring you. That's obvious.
People set up and prepare and honor that day of the Super Bowl way more than they honor the Feast of Tabernacles and the Passover. They'll spend big money to throw a little, you know what I mean? Super Bowl bash.
That's facts.
Man. But when it comes down to the Shabbat, where they at?
Nowhere around.
Man. So, you know what I'm saying? So to honor it is another one, is to make oneself a servant. To make oneself a servant as wanting to be a football member of that specific fan team that you like. What you talking? He said, man, don't. He said.
Yeah, because you start buying their clothes,
Yeah. Let's see, no, man.
paying for the games.
All you do is just like, you ain't nothing but just that. I should see kids go to school with these clothes on, like the basketball. When I was in high school, they would just come to school just dressed just like a basketball player, but every day wearing basketball shorts, wearing the authentic basketball jerseys, but every day wearing Jordans, and you know what I'm saying? They was fitted, but they was like, hey, these niggas, man, like they invest in everything into that team. Look at this one. He said the cost of labor or to compel to do work, followed by an account in Exodus 1 and 13, 6 and 5. So hence, to cause weariness by hard labor or to fatigue, like sports.
Yeah. That work hard. Damn.
So when people think that they're not serving a God, they're like, I don't serve any God. You're like, I'm just watching football. You're like, or I'm not serving any God. I just want to be a football player. You're like, what team do you want to play on? I actually want, my favorite team is the Seahawks. You're like, you serve a God. Even if you are showing up on the Shabbat, you still serve a God. You're involved in something weird now.
Yeah,
you know you about to get running.
If you become in the league, people gonna start worshiping you. If you're gonna become a God yourself.
You become a God.
To other people.
Right.
So no matter what you in the wrong.
It's a wrong path.
Yeah.
It's a dark path that's going down, and this stuff has been set up intentionally. It all comes from like the Roman gladiator days. Watching black dudes duke it out and stuff. And the Most High, he said he's a jealous power. He said that's why he ain't feeling enough to do that. So he said, I'm a jealous power. He said, I'll be visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, man. That's why we having these issues. That's why we, you know what I'm saying, sad situations like what happened with this brother right here still occurring on the so-called black man way in 2020. That was futuristic. I'm serious. Back in '93, that was futuristic talk. Talking about 2020. You're like, I don't even know what's going to be going on, man. It sounds like people might have robots. That's how people thought. Flying cars and things. Nah. It's the same old. Because there's been a worshiping of other gods that the so-called black man has been led and astray to partake in, man. He says the showing mercy, you know what I'm saying? And he be showing mercy unto thousands of them that love him and keep his commandments. You feel me? And you see them brothers right there on the right, man. Because like what the last video was explaining, man. We that medicine to this big old rock. You know? This gangrene that our people has been suffering from. We that antibiotic, that sanctification. He said, "Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High, your power, in vain." You know, you don't sit there and say, "Hey, I'm an Israelite," and you don't actually do what the Israelites are commanded to do. You can't say that you're an Israelite. Like, well, you can. Actually, when you said it, you are. But now, the Most High says, he says, I will not hold him guiltless. That means whether you like, well, you know what I'm saying, I don't know about that part. I don't know about this. You're like, it don't matter. Because if you just look at the pattern that's set before you finding out that you're an Israelite, we've been getting tripped on by the Most High. No matter what. Trip mode is on. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't going to hold you guiltless. If you got sins that you ain't washing away, you got blood on your hands that you ain't getting rid of. Man, this is facts. Facts be standing. The Most High is taking care of business.
That's right.
And he's a businessman. It's nothing personal. Business. Yahushua didn't say, I'm here, I'm about my father's recess. I'm about my father's fun time. I'm about my father's business.
Yeah.
These business transactions. If you say, I'm an Israelite, man, you better, man, I'm serious, man. You better be about that business. Because he ain't going to hold you guiltless. That takes his name in vain.
That's right.
So, remember the Sabbath? To keep that holy. 6 days you shall labor. Do whatever you got to do. Do all your work. But the 7th day is the Shabbat of Yahweh, God Elohim. In it you shall do. In it you shall not do no work, brother. You nor your son nor your daughter, nor your men servant. If you got a business, close the business down. Saturday, you shut it down. You got a barbershop, shut it down.
That's right.
He said, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger that is within your gates. That means, in other words, nobody, no matter what,
Should be Sabbath. Working on that.
the Sabbath is a day that people must learn.
All
Class is in session. He says, for 6 days the Most High has made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested or ceased. Stop. Discontinued. And then the seventh, discontinued in the seventh, Salakia. He said, wherefore the Most High blessed the Sabbath day. What'd he do? He blessed the Sabbath day. A witch will call it magical. A pagan would say lucky. You know?
real. I'm waiting for the third one, man. I'm waiting.
And hallowed it. And made it special. Hallowed it. It has been set aside from everything else. It has been deemed special. It is a special day. You know? And that is half of the inauguration. We're going to be going with the next one next week with the other half. This is how you get it right with the Most High power.
That's right.
This is how you get it right before you step outside that door or even open up your mouth. You get these things first in order. Abstain from idols.
That's right.
Keep the Shabbat. Honor the Most High and do not take on his reputation of, if you keep these law, statutes, commandments as Israel, that he will save you and deliver you out of the land of your enemies and set you in your own land. Don't take that concept in the mind for no reason and not put it into play. And what I mean by put it into play, I mean practicing this self-examination. That's where it first starts. Looking in that mirror and conducting your home. Getting rid of these phony idols. Graven images.
Show that you love and you fear the Most High.
Role models. Right. Show that the Most High is doper in your eyes than everything and everyone. Everything else outside of that, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, you need a little bit more time to grasp the concept in whole, because you ain't getting the picture, bro. You gotta push it to the max, no matter what. All praises to the Most High, Maranatha, Ak Malak, Ak Finahaz, Ak Kekmat, Ak Kazekayahu, and Isaiah, Ak Isaiah. We out here. All praises to the Most High and his son, Yahushua HaMashiach. Shout out to Black J Radio. I see you out there, brother. Hallelujah, oh man. Shalom by Yah. All praises to you out there, B Brown. Shout out, brother. Shabbat Shalom, man. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Enlightened with that Ruach Hadash. And everything go as expected and even more. And we giving thanks to that we giving thanks to the Father for that Holy Spirit that He has bestowed upon us and allow us to actually be able to operate within these last days. and to be able to be sanctified from that Wuhan, so we don't get that plague.
God.
Fortify your body. Fortify your mind.
God.
And we out.